Did you know that nationally, only about 1 in 3 homes are in an HOA? But here in Fayette County, it's closer to 2 out of every 3 homes or more. If you're relocating to the South Atlanta area and you don't understand HOAs, you could end up buying in a neighborhood that completely doesn't fit your lifestyle. Today, I'm breaking down the real numbers for Coweta and Fayette County, plus the pros and cons, so you can decide what's right for you and your family. I'm Heather Jenkins, your South Atlanta relocation expert, and I help families relocate to Coweta and Fayette counties every day. Let's dig in. Let's start with what most people don't expect. In Fayette County, about 65 to 75% of homes are in HOA communities. That means if you're looking in Fayette, HOAs are not the exception, they're the norm. Coweta County gives you more flexibility with about 45 to 60% of homes in HOAs. So you'll find more HOAs in Noonan, and then as you move outward from the city where you have more land and acreage, you'll have less HOA neighborhoods. And for comparison, nationally, only about 30% of homes are in HOAs based on data from the Foundation for Community Association Research. So yes, our area, especially Fayette, is significantly higher than average. Some of my relocation clients ask why there are so many HOA neighborhoods here, and there are a few reasons for that. First, a lot of our communities are newer or master planned. Second, swim, tennis neighborhoods are very popular down here, especially with the hot Georgia summers. Cities like Peachtree City have strong planning and community standards. And honestly, buyers moving here actually want that structure once they understand it. So what are the pros of living in an HOA? Let's talk about the good first, because there are definitely some major benefits. Benefit number 1, neighborhood appearance and property values. HOAs help maintain consistency, so you don't have a house next door with 5 broken down cars and neon green siding. And trust me, we're in the South and it seems like everyone has broken down vehicles stockpiled somewhere. The second pro is that amenities. Pools, tennis courts, playgrounds, walking trails, and sometimes even golf courses are a draw. Many families love this because it creates a built-in lifestyle. Number 3, community feel. HOA neighborhoods tend to have more events, more interaction, and more of a community vibe that people are looking for, especially when relocating to an area where you don't know anyone. The fourth pro, resale value stability. Because there are standards, homes often hold value better and are easier to sell. Number 5, less exterior maintenance sometimes. In some communities, especially townhomes, things like landscaping or exterior maintenance may be included. Now let's talk about the cons of living in an HOA, which seem to be a lot more popular. This is what people don't love about living in an HOA. The first thing, the restrictions. No boats in your driveway, no chickens, you have to have approval for fences, paint colors, and sometimes landscaping. This is a big one for people relocating from more rural areas. Moving from the Detroit area where people parked on both sides of the street and you'd have to wait sometimes to be able to shimmy down the street. In some neighborhoods, like the one I live in, we're not allowed to park on the street for more than 24 hours. And that becomes a big point of contention with some of the neighbors around here. It's important to know if that is one of the requirements of your HOA, because if you have a family where you'll have multiple drivers, you'll be playing car Jenga daily. The second con are the HOA fees, monthly or annual dues, and they can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s depending on the amenities and the area. This is also something that gets factored into your monthly payment when you're working with a lender. So it's important to be informed so your lender knows how much to calculate, especially if you're trying to push the envelope and shopping at the top of your price point. The third con, the approval processes. Want to buy or build a fence, add a shed, change your exterior paint color, you'll likely need approval, and it can take time, sometimes up to 60 days. If you think you can just do it and ask for forgiveness later, think again. The HOA will most likely make you take it down and apply for the approval, so don't take the risk. The fourth con, enforcement, aka the letter in your mailbox. If your grass gets too long or your trash can is visible, you might hear about it. And I'm not joking. We've already gotten a notice in our mailbox about our weeds in the yard and trimming our bushes. Mind you, it's mid-March and spring cleaning hasn't even started yet for many people. The fifth con is less flexibility. If you're someone who wants total freedom with your property, an HOA may feel limiting. So who should and shouldn't choose an HOA? Here's how I help my clients make that decision. An HOA may be right for you and your family if you want a clean, uniform neighborhood, you like amenities, and a community feel. That could be important if you're moving to an area where you have no friends or family, like our family did. I felt that moving to a neighborhood was important in case there was an emergency with the kids or something happened. I didn't want to be in a rural property with nobody around me. I preferred having neighbors. You don't want to worry about what your neighbors are doing. I'll be honest, in an HOA, sometimes people worry too much about what their neighbors are doing. Just check the neighborhood Facebook page. But really, you don't have to worry about trashy homes or yards because they'll get an HOA letter in their mailbox. An HOA may not be for you if you want land, privacy, or animals, if you don't want rules or approvals, if you want full control over your property. The biggest mistake I see people make when relocating here is not realizing how common HOAs are until it's too late. That's why I created a free guide to HOA versus non-HOA living in Coweta and Fayette counties, so you can make the best decision before you even start looking. If you want that guide, just grab it in the description below. And if you're thinking about making a move, I'd love to help you navigate all of this because it really does make a difference.